Speaking of time management, thanks for making sure the camera was on. Good job. All right. The thing we're going to be talking about today is how to manage your time. What I actually, just like we do in a lot of these videos, I want you guys to think about something real quick. Can you actually manage time? What does that mean? I want you to, I think I've said in a lot of these types of videos that we go through, the English language is incredibly important and incredibly powerful. And one of the things that I want you to think about is, can we manage time? Can you actually manage time? Can you take the time as it moves and actually manage it? The reality is you can't, I can't, nobody can. What you can do instead of using the words time management is you can actually make the time that you spend as most efficient and as most important and as most effective as you possibly can. So you're not really trying to manage time. I want you guys to kind of take that out of your mind. What you're actually working to manage is how you use the time, right? So you're trying to figure out, most of you guys are trying to figure out, how do I get more time? You can't have more time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. What you can do, and what we're going to be talking about most of today, is how do you actually manage you better? So I want you to think about for a minute, if I were to give you a challenge and I were to ask you right out of the gate to document every 30 minutes of your day for the next 4 days. I want you just to simply take out a sheet of paper for every 30 seconds or every 30 minutes of your day for the next 4 days, write down exactly what you did in that 30 minutes. Exactly what you did in that 30 minutes. Did you scroll Facebook? Did you scroll Instagram? Were you watching a YouTube video just like this? Were you actually learning something? Were you using your time more efficiently, more effectively? Were you doing something positive that's actually making your life better? Were you working on your health and fitness? Were you working on better developing yourself and your skill sets? Were you actually working on something better in your business? Were you working on expanding your relationships? All of those different things are actually what you want more of. We tend to just focus and flip it around and blame it on something that's actually outside of our control, which is, I want to know how to manage time better. I think the really cool challenge would be if you sat there and you documented all those different things, and you actually you flip that question upside down, and instead of asking how can I manage time better, you flip that question upside down and you look at it for all the stuff that you have on that sheet, and you ask yourself, how can I take the things that are essentially stealing time away from me and rid my life of those things? And so some of you guys are gonna, it sounds really trivial and it sounds really silly, but I ask people this question all the time. How many hours a day do you actually work? And at the beginning, they say things like 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, whatever. And then we talk to them about things like we're talking about with you today, and we ask them, okay, how many hours though do you actually really work? And then when they work through a time study and they start to write things down, they realize in reality, less than half of what they said is actually spent, quote unquote, working. The rest of the time, they're doing things that feel like, or they've convinced themselves are actual work, but in reality, they're just wasting time. And you and I both know you don't get time back. It's not like something, well, I spent 4 hours today jacking around on a project that did nothing for me. Tomorrow I'll just catch up and get that time back. It doesn't work that way, right? Once it's gone, it's gone. Once it's used, it's used. It's not a finite type of thing or an infinite type of thing. It's a finite type of thing. So you don't get it back. You can't get those hours back. So what I want you guys to do is think about, quote unquote, time management in a different mindset. I want you to think about, how can I take the time that I have and get the most from it, right? I'm talking about how do I get the most out of the time that I have? So if you're awake, which most of us are, somewhere between 16 and 18 hours a day, I want you to just really get your mind wrapped around this. 16 to 18 hours a day, and you were to be honest with yourself and take a real inventory of yourself, and you were to go, okay, I'm going to go look in the mirror at the man I am in the mirror. Can I say these words? I am proud of you. If you can't, what I want you to do, this is just a place to start, right? What is going on in your world, in your life that you're not in alignment with, that you wish was different? And make a list of these things, right? So I have 16 to 18 hours a day to work on improvement of different things in my life that I wish were different. If I want my health and fitness to be different, I have 16 to 18 hours a day where I can plan making it better or making it different in that same time frame. If I want my relationships to look different, what can I do inside of that same time frame? And then you actually take all the different things that you want to be different and you start to schedule them out. You start to plan them out. You start to build an action plan around those specific things. So now you're not so worried about trying to control time. You're more focused on controlling your activity and making sure the activity you're doing inside of that time frame is the most efficient, has the greatest result, is done with a lot of speed and accuracy. Right? If you focus on those things and you stop telling yourself the story and the lie of, I got to try to control time. Dude, I'm telling you, that's a lost cause. You're never going to beat time. You're never going to control time. You're never going to develop more time management skills. So stop using phrases like that. Think about to yourself, I have control of this guy right here, right? You have control of you. What things are you doing that are inefficient, that are taking you farther away from what you actually want? The goals, the targets, the dreams, the vision, all of that stuff. It's not an issue of poor time management or not enough time. It's poor execution of the time that you actually have every single day. So I'm challenging you basically in this video, in this moment, start writing out the things that you actually want to create. Start writing out the things that you dream about, that you have visions about, that you want to see different or better in your life, and start ridding yourself of all the things that are essentially stealing time away from that. So I brought it up, and you guys are probably asking yourself, do you keep saying this time study thing? What the hell is this time study thing? I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Okay, it's a templated sheet. And it's a process that comes with a set of notes and guidelines on exactly how you're supposed to do it, right? The really cool part is I'm going to take this time study. There's going to be a pinned comment. You guys can go down into that pinned comment. You guys can click on that link and you can actually download the time study for free. The only thing I ask, one simple ask, if you're going to be a guy or woman who takes this template and downloads it, use it. Use it, and don't just use it for a day, right? What happens is most people, they start writing things down and then they're conscious, they kind of wake up consciously and they're like, oh shit, I am wasting a lot of time, right? I am wasting a lot. Oh, I noticed it in half a day. I don't need to continue this for 4 days, right? Listen, you can't break a habit or fix a habit or correct a habit in 30 minutes. You can't break a habit, fix a habit, correct a habit in half a day. Why do we have you go 4 days? Because it makes you hyper aware of the areas in which you're wasting time. It also makes you hyper aware in the areas where you feel most fulfilled when you're doing certain things, right? You get a level of, when you're writing something down, you're like, damn, that was a great use of time. I'm gonna do more of that. If you do it over 4 days, you start to consciously realize I'm really excited or happy or motivated when I'm working on these specific projects in this amount of time, doing this specific thing, so on and so on, right? So it's the both and. It's the canceling out of the wasting, and it's a getting in stronger alignment and working to build into your calendars more of the things that you enjoy doing as you're documenting out those days. So, and again, some of you guys are saying, well, but John, no, listen, I already work all day long, so how do I find more time? And again, we're not trying to manage time, right? Now, here's something that's kind of next level that for most of you guys, I want you to really consider. When you do that time study and you have all those things written down, yes, you're going to become more conscious of the things that are giving you fulfillment, and you're going to be more conscious of all the things that you're either doing that are wasting time or are not bringing you fulfillment. What I want you to do at the end of that time study, and you'll see in the directions section of that time study, put a plus by the things that give you joy, happiness, fulfillment, so on and so on. Put a minus by all the things that don't. And you might find, and this is very real, you might find that 3/4 of your day is spent doing things that you don't really enjoy doing or not more in alignment with what you want, so on and so on. I want to actually challenge you to figure out or find a way to delegate or get rid of those things from your calendar. Those are gonna, because it's not bringing you enjoyment or fulfillment anyway, which means if you spend 3/4 of your day doing shit that doesn't make you happier, you're gonna go home and want to vent that or put that into the world of your family, your kids, your spouse, so on and so on. Then they're gonna experience your disconnect, which is gonna cause them to also disconnect more. And now, because you're stealing time from yourself, Now you're stealing time from them by taking your dissatisfaction and your lack of enjoyment and dumping it onto those people. So I want to challenge you, plus by the things that bring you more enjoyment, more fulfillment, minus by the things that do not bring you more joy, more fulfillment. And we need to work to either delegate those things out or get those things completely off of your calendars. All right, so you guys know the drill. We need you guys to like it. We need you guys to like this video if you got something from it. Get it out to other people by liking it. They're going to see it too. We also need you to comment. And by comment, I need you to put some questions down in the comment section. I'm going to come back around and answer those for you. That's kind of my gift to you. And then we need you guys to subscribe. By subscribing, you guys are telling the algorithms you want to see more cool shit like this, and we'll bring it to you. So like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. See you soon.